Yeah, hello, my dear students. We'll start with the new session on mechanics. Okay, so you can see, go through the question. A rock is dropped off a cliff and falls the first half of a distance to the ground in t1 seconds. If it falls the second half of the distance in t2 seconds, what is the value of t2 by t1? Okay, so assume that you have a cliff. Okay, so the rock is fall first half of the distance, the time covered is t1. Okay, so I can make some points, mark some points. This is my half the distance. So what happens, the first half of the distance, so from the starting point, this half the distance, I can take this distance as s by 2. Okay, so the time taken by the rock to reach from, I can take this as point A to point B. The time is given by t1. Okay, similarly the remaining half the portions, that is s by 2, the remaining section again, so the ground I can take it as c. Okay, so from B to C, again the time taken is t2. It's clear. Similarly, what will be the total time from A to C? So that I can represent by, total time can be represented by t. Okay, so my total time is t. So from A to B means half the distance, my time is t1. Similarly, from B to C, my time is t2. Is it okay? Okay, since the rock is under free fall. Okay, so what happens, it's dropped initially. So what happens, your initial velocity is 0. So from the equations of motion, what is our displacement equation? S is equal to ut plus half at square. Yes, S is equal to ut plus half at square. Since the rock is dropped off the cliff, so what happens, your initial velocity, that is 0. So your displacement, so now I can find out for displacement. So your S will become, general formula will become half times of A will become acceleration due to gravity times of t square. Clear? So S is equal to half times of gt square. So this can be your equation number 1. Clear? So that is the condition for something is dropped from a height. Okay, so now I can go with the section from A to B. A to B, your distance is s by 2 and the time taken is t1. So directly I can apply this formula. So instead of s, I can give s by 2 is equal to half times of g into t1 square. Okay, so this is the distance covered from A to B. Is it clear? From A to B. So this is my equation number 2. Clear? Now the total distance from A to C. For total distance from A to C, that is S is equal to half gt square. Clear? From A to C, the total time is t. So I can write the total distance covered from A to C is S is equal to half gt square. That is from equation number 1. Okay, so now we can equate this equation number 1 and 2. Okay, equation number 1 and 2. So what happens, so now equation number 2 will becomes, yes, equation number 2 will becomes s by 2. So what's the value of s here? Half gt square. Yes, half gt square is equal to, what happens, by 2. So the 2 will get cross multiplied, that will be equal to g times of t1 square. Is it clear? G and g will get cancelled out, so you'll get t square is equal to, from this you will get t square is equal to 2 times of t1 square. Okay, so what is the total time t? Total time t is nothing but the sum of t1 and t2. Yes, so t square can be written as t1 plus t2 the whole square. So that will be equal to 2 times of t1 square. Okay, taking square root on both sides, what happens? T1 plus t2 should be equal to 2 becomes root 2 times of t1. Is it clear? Okay, so they require what is the ratio, what is the value of t2 by, what is the value of t2 by t1. So I am bringing t1 to other side, so it will become t2 is equal to root 2 t1 minus t1. So if I take t1 common outside, we'll get root 2 minus 1 of t1. Clear? So T2 is equal to root 2 minus 1 of T1, that is T2 by T1 should be equal to T2 by T1 should be equal to root 2 minus 1. Okay, is it clear? So here my option is option E. Is it okay? Thank you. Bye.